Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode number 189 of the Debt Free Dad podcast. So we all know that food prices have been on the rise, although this past year, they have slowed down a bit from the previous year here in 2022. But groceries are a big expense in a lot of our budgets. So today we're going to be sharing some ideas, some tips that have helped us, and some great tips on the Debt Free Dad page. Stay tuned as we deliver this episode.
You're listening to the Debt Free Dad podcast with Brad Nelson. Brad and his co-hosts experience the anxiety of living paycheck to paycheck before learning the fundamentals of financial security. They are now on a mission to empower regular people to pay off their debt for good and enjoy happier, less stressful lives. Keep listening for inspirational interviews, tips, tricks, and practical advice to gain financial freedom.
Hey, how's everyone doing today? You can find us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Just search Brad Nelson, Debt Free Dad. And as always, guys, welcome to today's show. Remember to get all the resources, show notes, and links for today's show. You can head over to the debtfreedadpodcast.com and check out episode number 189. Again, that's the debtfreedadpodcast.com, episode 189. So, guys, talking all about groceries today. And this is a hot topic. And again, something I see on social media quite a bit is these comparisons, where people will do somewhat of these dramatic videos. And Amber, I know we were just talking about this, but of comparing like what $100 was buying several years ago versus what $100 is buying today in the grocery store. And you had mentioned up in Canada that you're seeing a pretty dramatic difference right now.
Oh, it's awful. And I mean, like, I remember when watermelons were coming out, it's like, yay, it's summer. Yay, watermelons are here. They were $10 a watermelon.
Holy smokes.
Canadian dollars. So that's like about $7 US.
Yeah. So that's still, about $2 or $3 more than I'm paying. Yeah.
And everything's pretty much up like that.
Yeah. So so when you look at your grocery budget from a few years ago versus now, like how much more per month are you spending, do you think?
I should have looked it up. I think we were averaging about 700 to 800 in a month when we were a couple years ago. Now we're up to 1,000 to 1,200.
Okay. Wow.
For two people.
Wow. What about you guys, Ryan and Chris? What do you guys now? You guys are obviously different. Chris, you have no kids at home, right?
Correct. I'm just thinking I'm not going to move to Canada anytime soon.
Free healthcare, but we take 40% of your income.
Yeah. And charge
different
you
topic for a different day. Yeah. I'm not gonna bite on that one. I mean, yes, food prices have gone up. In the area where I'm at, we don't have a lot of competition. If you want competition, you've got to drive 20, 25 minutes. So the one player in town, so to speak, has found a way to really stick it to people. The prices are astronomical, and it's not just one item like watermelon; it's all across the board. I mean, there's a type of sausage, for example, that they used to carry that was almost double what you could get it for at some of the little mom and pop shops around.
Wow.
And they do that because that's where most people are going grocery shopping.
Right.
And they can get away with it. Now, you mentioned Aldi before we started recording. And we try to still shop at Aldi. There is one about 20 minutes away. And that's the best gig in town in terms of keeping your prices down. But overall, I think inflation's happening. We all feel it. We all see it. And it makes you have to make different choices.
Right. Yeah, Aldi's amazing. There are people though who won't shop at Aldi because they're very specific to name brands, and Aldi does not have. I mean, they do have some name brands, but most of their stuff, I'd say 90 to 95% of it is not name brand. So you gotta kind of get over that hump a little bit. Do you guys have Aldi up in Canada?
No,
Amber, you do not. You don't have Aldi. Okay. But yeah, that's been it. That's huge. I would say for me and my two kids, so I'm a single parent with two kids, we're probably between $600 and $700 a month right now. But that's kind of everything. That's dog food and, pick up a couple of cases of beer per month or, toiletry type stuff. I mean, that's everything. Toilet paper, that's everything kind of lumped in. But I find that the majority of the stuff that I buy is at Aldi just because it's just significantly less money. Now, I will say lately their produce has been a little bit disappointing to me, but I've had to make some different selections at some different stores. But for the most part, their stuff's been pretty good. Now, where you got to watch yourself when you go to Aldi is the Aldi Find. You go down that aisle, Chris, the Aldi buys, the hot buys.
I don't want to look for chainsaws at Aldi.
Yes. I love bringing up this story every time. I mean, that's why Aldi's my favorite now, because where can you go to a grocery store and buy a freaking chainsaw?
I can't wait till I'm in the States again. Like, I gotta go to one of these stores.
I can't equate a vacuum cleaner at a grocery store.
Well, Walmart does
like,
it?
I know, but they sell a bunch of other things too. Okay, it's not just vacuum, but at Aldi, there'll be like 12 random things every week, and you're like,
right.
That's what everything got a deal on.
Did somebody call up the sales reps at Aldi and go, hey, we got an overabundance of chainsaws. You think you can help us move them?
I bet you that's what happens. I love it.
Oh, I'll never forget that day. Well, Katie was just on not too long ago talking about she bought herself an area rug at Aldi.
Yeah.
Aldi Finds, man. They got some great stuff in there. But anyways, let's go down and talk about a few things that have helped us. You guys can obviously share your tips. In fact, I would welcome you guys to share your tips. But I think the biggest one, several years ago, what was it, 2021? Was it 2021 we did the meal challenge where Sarah and I ate at home for like 425 straight days? I think that was 2021.
2020 and 21 wasn't
20
it?
and 21.
It was during COVID, right?
COVID, right?
Yeah, it was during COVID. Yeah.
So that was 2020.
Yeah, so we ate at home for 425 straight days. And the key to that was making a list and just meal planning. And I think that's the biggest thing that'll help you save when it comes to grocery shopping is making a list and sticking to it, and then just having a meal plan. And sticking to that list also means sticking to the meal plan too. And that's where it can get a little challenging too, because sometimes when you buy something at the beginning of the week and then you make it 4 days later, you're like, oh, I'm not really in the mood for whatever I just meal plan. That's hard, right? Because then it's like, oh, let's go out to eat. And then before you know it, you're throwing away groceries. In fact, according to SaveTheFood.com, which this is an interesting website, go to this website, SaveTheFood.com. A typical family of four, and this is, again, this hasn't been updated, so I'm guessing this probably even more now because groceries are more expensive. A typical family of four wastes $1,500 a year on food. $1,500. That's over $100 a month that you're throwing away. And there's nothing more painful because, like, if you're throwing away produce, some stuff that you didn't use, or the cheese gets moldy because you didn't use it right, but it's like, man, I just paid $3 or $4 for that. You're just throwing it right in the trash. Also, interesting statistic from that website, 40% of all food produced in the United States is wasted. 40%. That is unreal. But the other part about meal planning and creating a list is just cooking more of the food at home means less processed food, which honestly is more healthy for you, but also less expensive. So, like, for instance, when you start talking about snacks and stuff for your kids and all of that, like, if you can do more of that prep at home rather than buying, like, the individual packs at the stores and things, you can save a significant amount of money. Now, obviously, you trade off a little time, so there's a little, sacrifice and trade-off there. But that, for me, has been big. Now, I will say in the last 6 months since Sarah passed away, I mean, it's been, let's just say it's been a zoo. It hasn't been quite as organized as it used to be, right? And there's definitely been times where I've had to throw away stuff because we didn't, the schedules didn't work out. Now, being that my kids are now going to be starting school, we're going to try getting back into this a little bit more consistently. But, if you can meal plan and have a list, I think that's setting yourself up for success right away.
And I like this one, being aware of what you already have. I actually take pictures of my fridge and my pantry because I don't want to write it down, and it's just easier. And I open up the picture when I go to the grocery store. I'm like, oh, did I have that in there? And it's so
really
easy.
Good. That's actually really good.
I just randomly take pictures once a week.
Yeah. How many times? There was one time in my first marriage when I was married to Kelly, we went grocery shopping. We came back. We bought frozen corn. We went in the freezer, and there were 10 bags of frozen corn.
That's like that TikTok about the hoisin sauce.
Yeah, hoisin sauce. Funny. Wait, what? Hoisin sauce? I didn't see that one. No.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to send that one to you.
All right. Yeah.
So you you take a picture of your fridge. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So you mean I don't have to buy one of those expensive refrigerators that have a camera that's Wi-Fi connected, and I can just from the grocery store?
Not.
Okay.
Save your money.
That's a thing?
Yes.
What?
You've never seen the refrigerators that you touch them and they clear and you can see through the door into the refrigerator, and they're Wi-Fi connected and you can do your shopping list. And I would imagine that some of them have cameras in them. I would imagine that you could probably just pull up on your phone and go, oh, what's in the fridge tonight?
Weird. Wow, that's pretty cool, actually.
Technology.
I'm not a connoisseur of refrigerators. When I'm in the market for one, but those do sound pretty cool. That sounds cool. I'm sure they're pretty expensive too.
Or you can just take a picture, like was mentioned.
Right, with your $1,100 phone.
Pretty much.
It's either the phone or the refrigerator. You're spending money one way, but why spend both, right?
Right. Other two big areas are obviously don't shop hungry and don't shop with your kids. These are huge, especially hungry. This one's a big one for me. Man,
I will buy at the store if I go
hungry.
hungry.
Gosh, it's amazing.
Oh my God.
It's amazing the stuff that you buy, and then you get home and you're just like,
So I went to the store here about a month ago. My wife called me and says, can you stop by and get some milk? And I said, did you get dinner made? She's like, well, not yet. It's 9:15 at night. So guess what happened when I got to the grocery store? It wasn't just milk. It was like $70 later. And it was half of it's junk food. So yeah, don't shop when you're hungry. Now, you mentioned don't shop with kids. That's real important. But if you do, here's a tip for you. You know those little clickers that people click when they're counting people who come through the door?
yeah.
So as you come through the door, you can click those things. Get one of those for your kids. And if you've got a budget set up that said we're only going to spend X amount of dollars, have them click. So if it's $3.99, have them click it 4 times. And their job is to keep track of how much you're spending as you go through the grocery store.
Well, that would have been easier than sending back stuff at the cash when I used to do that.
There you go.
Okay, take that off.
There's some stigmatism for some people who don't want to get a calculator out because they don't want other people seeing them and go, oh my gosh, they're using a calculator. They must be broke or poor. So you just, keep a little clicker and have your kid. That's their job, is to see how low they can keep the clicker. That way they don't ask for a bunch of things.
That's actually a really good idea.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think if I were to give that clicker to Avery, though, that would be like it'd be like $800 we've spent, but we only put 100 in there, right? She'd be
gives her something to do, right?
Right. A big one that I didn't even put on the list, guys, is use cash. It's a big one, and we get so used to paying with your credit card or your debit card, and it's so easy to overspend that way, even using your debit card. And this is something I've gotten away from now. I use my debit card all the time. But when we were getting out of debt, we went to cash. And it helped a lot stick to the plan. And we see this inside Roots a lot, where people use the envelope system. They'll put money away. And Ryan, you guys do this, right? You guys are still using cash for your groceries and stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you guys find that helps you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it just, because when you go to the store, this is what I have to spend. So it's just, and I mean, I should say if we go to the store, we do a lot more order online and pick up now, because then it's like you get the total right in front of your face. Because I am horrible, like in the grocery store, like, oh, they make Reese's Puff Minis now. I should try those. If you put a cartoon character on it and make the box colorful, I'm probably gonna buy it, because it's just like, I don't need that, but it looks like I like it.
So what we used to do, and again, we use debit cards now because we don't have to go to extreme measures. But when we were really gung-ho on getting out of debt, we created a meal plan, went and looked and seen what things do we need to buy, what do we already have. What we need to buy is our grocery list. Next to it, we estimated the cost, added that up, added tax, and that was our number. And if the number was more than what we had on our envelope, well, I guess we're redoing our meal plan, changing the grocery list. But if we had enough money, we only took maybe a $5 or $10 buffer in cash. We didn't even take the whole cash envelope.
Right.
That way, when we're in the grocery store, we're actually with a calculator out calculating and keeping track, or how close was our guess? Do we need to modify so we're not at the checkout line at the end and sending things back?
Yeah.
But we knew there was no wiggle room to add anything because we only had what we had.
Right.
And so it's one of those tools to protect you against your own worst financial enemy, which is yourself.
Right.
So meal plan, grocery list, but estimate it. Take cash only enough to cover what it is that you expect to buy, maybe a few extra bucks in case your numbers are off. And then you have to get the grocery list. Or as Ryan says, now with the technology, order and go pick it up. Then somebody else does the shopping for you. They're probably not going to add puffed marshmallows or whatever to your shopping list themselves, but you would. So I need to try this, ordering and picking it up.
Yeah. Well, that's a big one.
I haven't done it.
That's one, honestly, there's so many people who actually, I think, commented on our page too about that, but just doing shop online and pick up. And Ryan, you brought up just the whole impulsiveness of grocery shopping. And in an article on theconversation.com titled How Shops Use Psychology to Influence Your Buying Decisions, they have a statistic in there that says as much as 50% of all groceries are sold because of impulsiveness. 50%.
Yep.
A lot.
And again, it's a huge part of your budget. It's a huge part. And you start making just different decisions and some of these practices, even things like just basic, getting back into, doing coupons and rewards cards, or checking out like the weekly flyers and lining that up to your meal plan, or planning around what's on sale in those weekly flyers is huge too.
Do you guys do that? Do you guys coupon? That kind of thing? Do you do any of that?
I do not actively coupon outside the store. Like if I buy something that's got a coupon, I will take it.
You'll take it, yeah.
But I will look at some of the flyers and stuff that come through, and if there's certain things, I'll go to specific stores for certain things. But I have found, though, across the board, for the most part, for me, I mean, Aldi has just been like the biggest saver,
I tried to coupon, and I found like a lot of the things is like, I wouldn't even buy this.
Well, that's
you know
the
what
other
I mean?
thing.
Like,
right.
It's not like I'm going to buy stuff I don't really want or need.
Right.
It just made no sense to me, these extreme couponing. But like, what about apps though? You guys must have apps like in the States where like we have like, for Canadians, Flash Food app or Too Good To Go app.
Right.
And these are places that it's reaching expiry and they're going to put it on sale. Like I accidentally bought 40 pounds of bacon one day.
Did you really?
I did.
Holy crap.
You can never have too much bacon.
Yeah, that's true.
My freezer's full. We've been eating it all summer.
Oh, delicious.
So how do you accidentally buy 40 pounds?
She just kept putting it in the cart.
in the
they've got more of it. I mean,
right? No, in the app. So there's an app. It's called Flash Food, and it's the grocery stores in town. And basically, anything that's getting close, they're going to put it really discounted. So it was $2 a pound. And I was like, wow, this is great. And I'm right here. I was near the place. So I started adding it to my cart. I'm like, I'm going to get 20. So I added it to my cart. I processed it. Something happened. It glitched. It said it didn't go through. So, all right, I'll do it again. Well, when I got there with one like big, huge reusable shopping bag, and the guy's like putting it in. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's 20. That's what I bought. And he goes, no, see, you bought 20 and 20.
So you accidentally bought 20 and you purposely bought 20.
Yeah.
That's the real story here.
That's the real story.
I was thinking, how do you accidentally, did you like knock the box off as you were walking down the aisle and it fell in your cart and you didn't notice it?
Okay, so I accidentally bought 20 extra pounds of bacon.
That's a good accident, though.
I mean, it was $2. It was okay, but...
What do you guys?
$2 adds up.
So we've been talking about Aldi and the generics. What do you guys feel about generics?
If they taste as good or close, then I buy them. I don't care whether it's generic or not.
I can't buy generic ketchup.
Try the Aldi. Ketchup. Well, you don't have an Aldi. I'm convinced that Aldi ketchup is a name brand that's very popular. And I almost said it starts with an H, but then I realized the two most popular ones both start with H. Okay. Try the Aldi one, but you don't have an Aldi there. But everybody else listening, if you're a ketchup snob, Aldi ketchup.
Well, you know it's gonna be Aldi ketchup is good. You know it's a generic when it's called catsup, not ketchup. Yep. And by the way, I was just talking to a friend about this, and they were like, they said catsup. I'm like, do you really say it that way? They're like, yeah. I'm like, it's ketchup, right? And they're like, no, it's catsup. So we looked it up. Ketchup actually started as catsup. That's how it originally started. And but you definitely know you got a generic brand of ketchup when it's called catsup now.
So it reminds me of the debate that happens every day in my ice cream shop. Is it pecan or pecan?
Oh, yeah.
Or pecan?
Tomato. Yeah. Pecan. It's pecan.
Is pecan.
It's pecan.
What do you say, Chris?
Pecan. But then there are people up here who are in Georgia, and I've lived, grown up in Georgia. It's pecan.
Pecan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, it depends. I mean, there's some stuff that's generic. So, I don't really care. Like, we bake. And so like certain things, like when it comes to generic, like flour and generic, like baking goods, like it just depends. I mean, some people don't care, but for me, I mean, there's definitely a difference in taste depending on what you, so there's just certain things, like if I'm going to bake and we're going to have certain things like Christmas cookies, that sort of stuff, I'm going to go buy, good butter and good stuff, in that thing. But then other stuff, I don't really care. Doesn't matter to me. Although I will say, and I'm not going to plug it, but we did buy a generic cookie, and because we've been trying to save money, and we're like, we'll just try them. We'll see how they are. We love them. We like buy them all the time now, and it's like driving us crazy because they're cheap.
Yeah,
it's like I'll just get 3 of them. It's like there's so I do like some generics a lot.
Yeah. Like mac and cheese though is not like I can't. Nope. I bought Avery some of the mac and cheese from Aldi, and I was just like, "Nah, we're not doing that again."
You guys don't have Kraft Dinner, right?
Kraft macaroni and cheese?
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's called Kraft macaroni and cheese, not Kraft.
Oh, that's all we have. Kraft Dinner.
Okay, but it's macaroni.
But
and
I
cheese,
prefer
right?
the no name one.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Or like cereal. Like I if I'm gonna get cereal, I want the Cocoa Puffs, not the chocolate balls.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's the way I am with the business here. When it comes to the ingredients I put in my ice cream, I'm not skimping, and that's why we're at a different price point compared to most other ice cream shops. But that's our, our claim to fame is that we have better ingredients, better taste, something you can't get anywhere else. But personally, there's a lot of generics that I will buy that I'm okay with. Now, there's others, like you said, if I'm buying cereal, there's pretty much one cereal that I'm going to eat. And it's so expensive, I don't buy cereal much anymore.
Yeah. What's the cereal, Chris? Come on.
It's Golden Grams.
Yeah, that's a good one. Love
but
Golden
it's like $6 a box.
Yeah.
It's like, good gracious.
It's expensive. What kind of tips did we get from the page? Let's take a look at some of those.
Let's see.
Let's see what Katie. I want to read Katie's real quick, and we can Ryan, if you want to pick out, because Katie's not here, so we're going to give Katie some credit. Katie says, check the grocery store ads to see what's on sale, right? Check physical and digital coupons and apps that offer discounts. That's a good one. Obviously, she mentions make a meal plan, which we did. Make a grocery shopping list and stick to it, which we did. Don't go shopping while you're hungry, which we talked about. Don't stock up or take stock of what you've got. Like she said, Amber, look at that. I take photos before.
She takes photos
she
too.
does too. Look, you guys would have been on the same page with that. She says, see what kind of meats and veggies you can stretch out across multiple meals. Get a head of lettuce instead of the bags of salad. 5-pound bag of potatoes versus picking out individual potatoes. Get the large family-size bags of chicken breasts and break down into portions. Yes, that's a big one.
So do we plagiarize her list?
No, she's just
sounds like it, right?
She's just great. She says, grab a quick, easy meal. This is a good tip. We didn't even mention this one. This was good. She says, grab a quick and easy meal while you're shopping in case you need to make something for dinner right away when you get home. So you don't make an excuse to be lazy or tired after you get back and you don't feel like cooking, so you go order takeout. That's genius. That's actually a really good tip. Yeah. And then last but not... Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Let me throw out one thing that I've heard it on her list and it's not on our list. Something that we've been doing more of lately, grow your own.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Big one. Yeah, having a garden. And then last one that she has, get creative on what you've got on hand and create meals with what you already have instead of going out and shopping for more stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's one here I'm interested because we've done this and I kind of see it both ways. But Dennis Rivera says HelloFresh. So like those meal kits that you get. For the amount of, like we've done them a number of times. For the amount of food you get, I would say it's a little pricey. But I think where you could potentially save money is if you're the kind of person who buys 3 pounds of chicken to cook a chicken meal and you throw half of it away, or you don't save it, or you put it in the freezer for 9 months until it's growing a bunch of freezer burn. You know, what I did like about it is you do get exactly what you need. You cook it and you're done. You have no waste. So it's not always more expensive. It just depends on how you use that extra food that you're buying.
Yeah.
Is that sort of like when I go grocery shopping and then I get to the checkout line, I've got to check my own self out I got to do their job for you. Now it's like going to a restaurant, but I'm cooking my own food, but somebody else is providing it.
Well, they give you everything you need for the meal. Like, so you don't have to buy a whole thing of onion powder. Like it's just in little packages, and it's just the meal that when you're done cooking, there's no food left.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's actually really good.
It is really good. Yeah. And a little tip for everybody, if you want it cheap, you just sign up for their promo and then you cancel it. And then you sign up for the next promo and then you cancel it. And then you sign up for the next promo. And then by the time that one's done, they're sending you come back promos. And so you just keep playing the promo game and you'll always get it for much cheaper.
Hey, HelloFresh, if you want to advertise on our show.
Sounds to me like a plan.
It's like XM Radio. Hey, you can renew for $200. Yeah, I'll just cancel. And then 3 months later, they're like, you can have it for $10. I'm like, okay.
That reminds me, I got to call them because mine just went up. I do have to call them. I like Christopher Whipper's comment here. His goal or his money saving tip is starving.
There we go.
But no, all kidding aside, sometimes this is a good one. I mean, if you're trying to eat healthier, it's just having less junk food. Like this one's Brenda. We are doing fasting over here. So intermittent fasting, not buying any junk food. So they're not buying soda, punch, juice. They're trying to drink water and do Crystal Light type stuff. She says junk food's not good for you anyways. Fruits and veggies, lean meats. Sure, there's some complaints, but my pocketbook is actually feeling the difference right now. So again, like we talked about, bringing more, processed foods. And this is another one, big one, guys. This one I see all the time. Big money waster in a lot of people's budgets is convenience store stops. Stop doing that. Like you're paying, and I'm such a hypocrite for this. So the other night I was coming home and I was running super late. Avery was with one of my relatives that was watching her, and I had to get home to meet them, and I forgot that we needed milk, so I had to stop at a convenience store to pick up milk for the next morning. It's double the price than it is at the grocery store. Double. Yep. I mean, if you're constantly doing that, once in a while, like if you're in a pinch, I get it. None of us are perfect, but if you're doing that every day, or if you're doing that multiple times a week for soda and snacks and sandwiches and lunch, and man, those are huge budget killers. Huge. And you don't even realize it because a lot of people aren't just keeping track of that. Any others that we want to go across? I'm just looking through the list here.
A lot of oldie. We use this, so a couple people using apps like Ibotta. Yes. Marcella McMaster. So Ibotta. Another person, I had another one. I missed it here, but yeah, just the apps that are out there. I know we use Ibotta for that sort of stuff. And I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how we say it.
It's Ibotta. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Katie talks about that a lot too in Roots and uses a lot of those apps as well. So anyways, lots of great tips for you guys. Again, some of these are some really good reminders, and sometimes it's just a recommitment. You get busy in life, especially, this time of year, school's getting back in, and sometimes we get lazy with meal planning and making lists and sticking to it. And, but all great reminders today. We're going to take a quick commercial break and come back here with some celebrations. So the Totally Awesome Debt Freedom Planner is helping so many people make consistent progress with their finances. Whether that be building emergency funds, paying down bills, budgeting, tracking paydays, saving up for larger purchases, goal planning, and planning for those irregular yearly expenses that always seem to catch you by surprise. Now, the Debt Freedom Planner will help you take the stress out of managing your money. And if the thought is running through your mind, hey, I just need to have a simple tool to get my finances together, this planner is perfect for you. Head over to therealdebtfreedad.com, click on the Debt Freedom Planner in the menu at the top of the page, and order your Debt Freedom Planner today.
Let's talk about that, baby. Let's talk about your money. Let's talk about all the good things, all the bad things that may be. Let's talk about that.
And that's how means it's time for the celebrations of the show. First, we have Sandy Kurtz Jarrett concert tickets for November. So excited and so happy. I did not put it on a credit card.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I wonder who she's going to see.
I don't know, but that's awesome. And by the way, these are all celebrations of fun things that people have paid cash for here inside Roots. So Liz Pfeffer, I got a pedicure. This always makes me feel like I am taking care of myself well, which is awesome. Good for you, Liz.
And real quick, Brad, concert tickets she paid cash for. Is that right? Sandy did?
That's right.
One of the beautiful things you can do when you're out of debt is every now and then you can splurge. So yesterday, I bought tickets to Wisconsin, Ohio State in Madison, October 28th. So, Brad, I'm going to be up in your neck of the woods here in a couple of months.
That's awesome.
Just to watch a different football game. So that's the nice thing you can do when you're out of debt. So that's my splurging with cash. All right, Sally Annis, I'm going to butcher that name. She bought new flooring.
Awesome. There you go. Great job, Sally and Nick.
Terry Manley and Campataro, I bought myself a few new houseplants.
There you go. Awesome. Love it.
And Robbie Donahue, $30, all you can eat sushi and a nap.
Yeah, I like the nap. Oh, I need a nap. Awesome wins, guys. Congratulations, you guys. And if you're just getting started with our podcast, or maybe you've been listening for some time and you're interested in how you can get started on the road to financial freedom, go visit our website at balancesense.com and sign up for my free Life Without Payments workshop, where I'm going to show you the first steps that have helped tens of thousands of people just like you and I kick financial stress and worry for good. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to the Debt Free Dad podcast. Connect with us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Brad Nelson Debt Free Dad. If you found value in today's episode, please leave a rating and review. We so appreciate it. For resources, show notes, and links mentioned in today's show, visit balancedsense.com. That's balancedsense.com. Catch you next week.